Perfect. Hello, my name is Jordan Thomas. This is Unmasked Athletes, who I'm talking to today.
Andre Tibbs, the defensive end at Alabama A&M.
That's awesome. Kind of tell me a little bit about your background and the where you love for football came from.
Well, I'm originally from Lima, Ohio. So I grew from medium-sized city in Ohio. I really grew my love from football just throughout sports in general. I played basketball, soccer, football. Football really just gives me the necessary like aggressiveness, and I can just be physical, and I don't have to go to jail about it. I can go knock somebody clean head off and just go home the next day sleeping good, and not worry about the police showing up to my house.
I know. Uh, I know that for a fact. I feel like it also gives us as a cleanse where it's like you can let that anger out, especially. Tell me a little about your childhood growing up.
Growing up, I had two older brothers. They were more like a role model to me. They did get into some trouble, but they tell me not to do things that they did. Don't follow their footsteps and follow my own footsteps. My mom, I was living in a single parent household. My mom really was my mom and my dad. She gave me that care, that tenderness, and that care and love that a mother needs to. And also, like she played the father figure as well. I also have surrounded by good friends and family members who supported my dreams, supported my goals, me playing sports as an athlete all around. I just love just creating bonds and relationships throughout the game of sports and being able to pass my knowledge and information down to the younger generation. So I've been all these years that I've been playing sports, I've been just paying attention to coaching points, the things that I've learned, just new information. I just keep learning daily so I can be able to pass my information down to the younger generation and just become the best person that I can be. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up.
That's awesome, man. Especially with environments like that, you want to be able to make the best out of your situation, which now is paying off. You're in college, you're going to get that degree, and you're doing the sport that you love. Which I'm proud of you for that accomplishment. That's huge. Kind of tell me a little bit. When did you first like notice about football and find out about football?
Uh, I first like played football and flag football, and I was a tight end, defensive end. Um, I used to get like this is like real stats. I used to get at least like 3 picks a game, and I just really enjoyed it, and it just seemed fun getting all those picks every single game. Like I was just happy, enjoying what I did. So really, like that's really well where it came from.
Yeah, for sure. And then what was the moment where how was that journey going leading up to middle school all the way up to high school?
Middle school, I missed my seventh grade year of football because I got injured due to AAU basketball. So I came back my eighth grade year, and I tried out for a linebacker. I played linebacker for one day, and I switched back to defensive end.
Yeah, and especially with when you're so younger, I feel like they make you play all types of positions. Where it's like, and then all of a sudden you get to high school. No, you can't play that. You ain't got no saying that. Tell me a little bit about your high school career.
High school, I missed my freshman year once again because of injury. But my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I really played defensive end. It was really like a I enjoyed high school football because all my friends were there. I was surrounded by my friends, going to school with my friends, and I'm just learning different things from other people and my coaches. But this is no shade to my high school. I didn't have the best coaching, but I definitely had good people as coaches. You get what I'm saying? So really, just like me being able to grind and put the work in like everybody else is, and hopefully in the back of my mind, like getting to the collegiate level.
That's awesome. I heard there was a lot of injuries and setbacks. Like, how did that feel being on the sideline watching your favorite sport being played while you're hurt?
It actually sucks, I'm not gonna lie. I just got done with a ankle sprain and I was out for like a week and a half and it don't feel great at all. Like being able to see my brothers out here putting the work in while I'm doing like restricted workouts because it's just a sprained ankle. Not being able to physically be on the field and put the cleats on, conditioning, skill work, like ND stuff like that, OTAs. It's really just like a humbling thing because like you're just sitting like, dang, I wish I could do this, but just knowing you can't. Like it's really just you really can really feel it in your heart emotionally.
Yeah, for sure. And how was your mental health throughout that too? I know that kind of affects you a little bit. Kind of tell me a little about that as well.
It definitely affects my mental health. When it comes to mental health, I would say like it got down a little bit, but me personally, I have a good mental health. But just seeing my guys out there, it's like, dang, like it kind of makes me sad a little bit. But just knowing like God got greater things for me, so it's a bigger comeback instead and a lesser setback. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
for sure. But throughout that though, like you said, setback. Like, do you feel like some of those setbacks you kind of see a vision where it's like there's a light at the end of the tunnel with God's mission?
oh, for sure. Like every time I've been injured, I've always overcame that, and I feel like I've gotten better from every single injury that I got, even if it's minor or major. I just feel like God gonna put me in the best position, and whatever happens is in God's best like plan. So I think about it like that.
Yeah, for sure. You kind of tell me a little about your faith journey with God and how did that relationship come up about?
My relationship started like when I was growing up as a kid. Like both sides of my families, they're in the church. So I used to go to church with them, being around them a lot. So I really just always have God in me. But getting older and as an adult, I really just take more into my journey with God, but like reading my Bible, just living through God's word, trying to apply God's word in the Bible to my life physically, mentally and emotionally. Just trying to do whatever I can to live a God fearing life.
Yeah, and isn't I was just having a conversation in my last podcast episode. It's kind of hard, especially with being in college, because it's so much are going on around you, and it's like you kind of get lost into the schematics of college. You want to go out and party after a win, and it's so hard because you live such a lukewarm life, and the whole time is like all you want to do is be able to like have fun, but you also want to kind of lean on God and be not a peasant or any way like that for him, but you want to be a follower of Christ. But how does that environment kind of change the way you think about your religion when you're there?
I think about it like I don't want to be a worldly man. I don't want to be somebody who just follows everybody else because they doing it. I want to lead by example. I want to be able to do what I got to do what's in my best interest and in my best life to set me up for success in the future. But also, like, it's peaceful having a relationship with God. So why would I disturb my peace for momentary pleasure?
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like some of that is temporary too, right?
Yes.
Like, I feel like sometimes you are who you hang around with, and I feel
Hmm.
like there's some people that can hold you back from living the life that you want to live. And I feel like if we want to be able to be good followers with Christ, we have to also be around people that want to be good followers around Christ as well. Tell me what's your biggest reason? Like, what's your why?
My why, honestly, just my mom. Like, my mom, she always did what she had to do. She had to bend and break her back to provide for me and my brother. So why would I not do the same thing for her and my family and friends? Like, why would I not put on for everybody else so we can all be in a better situation? Because I came from nothing and God turned me from a nobody to a somebody. So why not just keep going? Like, God is writing my story. God created my story. Why don't I keep writing? That's how I think about it.
I don't think you could say it any better than that right there. To get
Mm.
where you want to go throughout your journey, what you think is going to be able to take to get to where you want to go? Like, what things you're going to be able to put forward to do?
I would say be dedicated, be committed, be very conscious about it. Even the days that I don't feel like doing it, don't feel like getting up, I still gotta do it. You can't like motivation is only gonna last for so long, but dedication can take you the long road. Like I just gotta keep grinding. Like I gotta eat right, I gotta sleep right, I gotta do the right things, I gotta be committed, be dedicated, do the right things every single day and stack days.
Yeah, for sure. And the biggest thing is just always being consistent. You know what I mean? Kind of hit on the point with that was that you got to be consistent because how are you going to get to where you want to be if you're not consistent enough, right?
Mhm.
So you said you want to be able to help your moms out. How has your mom impacted your life? How you said from a mother and a father in your life? How has much she impacted you in your life?
I would say entirely, honestly, like I was blessed with a good mother. So, and I can see other people's mothers aren't the best, but God bless me with a good mother and be able to give me that care, you feel me, as a mother and a father, that support as a mother and a father, and just in whole, honestly, like she made me the person I am today, and I'm a good person. So why not spread that to other people?
I like that. And you said spread that to other people. Like, what things you want to be able to do to be able to help impact your community? What things you think you could be able to provide for that?
Spread the word of God, just spread positivity, give back to the youth, give like the information that I've learned throughout all my years of life, like just being wise, just share that information with other people, just help other people. Like if they're in a bad situation, people can try to talk to other people. Some people might not listen, some people might listen, but the people that do listen, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get them like to make them feel better.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you kind of hit it on the head with that as well. I feel like that saying that my pops used to tell me, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? Like it's just that's just the reality of this. But I feel like you kind of hit on a point. You always lead with love and you lead with Christ. That's the best thing you can be able to do. I think you kind of hit on the head with what's some of the lessons that football has taught you.
Honestly, like even when you don't feel like doing it, keep doing it. If you really want to do it that much, like football has made me think about like things that I want to do, things that I don't want to do, stuff I should be doing, stuff I shouldn't be doing, just integrity, what hard work really is, how good communication can be, and how important it is, paying attention to detail, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I know as a football player myself, it's like it's just again that discipline where it's like sometimes your body hurts and it's like, dang, I really got to go to practice. Really, practice going to be hard today. It started raining and stuff. You just got the little adversity stuff like that, and I feel like that's the hardest thing. But football also teaches you when you get knocked down, how many times can you get back up? and
Exactly.
and especially with your life story, I can kind of see that hunger and that dog that you want to release and let out. And I think that's the best thing that you possibly can, especially as an African American athlete. How do you think that the life gets shined on us, like that we get portrayed as like a picture or an image that's what we're meant to be?
I feel like as a black man, we get painted the wrong picture because like just the generations of history that things have transpired, like racism, slavery, stuff like that. But nowadays it's really turned more into a worse image because of like things that other people do, other black people do. But with people like me, like I'm none of those. I'm not the stereotypical black person at all. I'm actually the complete opposite. So I feel like it's not really fair. It's not really like fair for other people to stereotype black people when all of us do the same things and just people just don't find out themselves.
Yeah, for sure. Do you also think that also impacts and hurt our community as well? Like what things you think that we can help with our younger generation for them not to look at the rappers, the drug dealers that's on the block? Like how can we get them to understand that we can be better than what our past was or the people around us are?
I feel like if we show them a physical example of you can be better than these drug dealers, rappers that's rapping about these worldly things and not the right things. I feel like if you show them an example of how they can be now and what they will be in the future, I feel like they will be able to understand because they're not going to think about the words. But if you put it right in front of their face, they can see it.
I like that. I don't think you could say any better right there because it's like I feel like nowadays if everything was a scroll on the TikTok and it was an image on TikTok and it was 30 seconds, I think everybody would watch it. But I feel like our attention span gets away from us at times because it's not what we want to listen to, but it's something that we need to listen to. I think that's an important question to ask you. I know football has been such a huge and a big impact in your life, but if you didn't have football, what would you do and who would you be?
If we didn't have football, I'll be a basketball player. I had one offer to go play basketball in Pennsylvania, so either I'll be doing that, or I'll just be doing like my entrepreneur stuff that I do now, or I'll just be doing track and field at the first school that I committed to before I decommitted.
And for sure, I heard you said something about entrepreneurship. How do you liking that? Like, how is that balance between being a college student athlete and being a businessman as well?
Well, I actually major in graphic design, so the stuff I do is when it goes towards graphic design. Like I have my own clothing brand. I'm a graphic designer. I can make like business logos, sports flyers, all stuff like that. When it comes to I just like being creative.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like it's also a good outlet, away from football, because I know we can get stuck watching hours of film. We're around the exact same people 24/7. We eat together. And
Yeah.
after a while, it gets like, I want to get away from that. For the people that don't know who you are, like, kind of describe yourself as a person.
Honestly, I'm like an outgoing, super laid back type of guy. Like if I don't know you, I'm not gonna say something. I'm really shy if I don't know you. But if I know you, you're definitely gonna get my cracker energy. Like I'm just a good soul, like one of those people who's just like hyper but not hyper, really cool. You can joke with, laugh with all the time. Just a real good vibe. Like I like to have positive energy because positive energy attract positive energy.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you also can make an impact just by a smile and having that pot of positive energy on somebody because you don't ever know what people are going through, and you might make the smallest impact, and all of a sudden they're like, they made their day, or you maybe can even save a life. Kind of talk about a little bit about your journey with your mental health. Like, how has that been for you?
When I say starting in high school, I barely played football. When I was playing football, like I was more like a third sub. Like I barely played. I was trash in high school. So like I was really like overthinking a lot of stuff. I really want to take football or sports to the next level, or football in specific. Really just like I've grown my relationship with God. So the more I've grown my relationship with God, the happier I've been. And like it's not easy trying to get out of that like mental health slump, but it's easier if you let God guide you to the right thing, to the light.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's always important is because sometimes our will isn't what God will is. And you have to be able to, leave everything in his hands and allow him, and you trust him in that process. Because if you start believing yourself, the more you believe in God, it just won't work out in your favor. For what things you want to be able to do after your football career, like what things you want to be able to spread to the world or even provide for your family.
I want to spread, like I said, positivity. Just good information just when it comes to mental health, sports, or just entrepreneurship, or just creativity when it comes to just any creative side. Um, I just want to be able to be an outlet for other people to come to me for help or just ask questions about anything, and I'll be able to help them.
Yeah, for sure. How can you be able to make like, what was one of the most positive things that you think you like impacted your life that you were proud of?
Hmm. I would say me going from D3 to D1, it just made me realize like God's plan is the best plan. God got me here. And ever since I hit the transfer portal, every day I said, God will get me right. And I feel like I really did speak that into existence because I had full faith in myself to go D1. So God really got me right. And he got me where I wanted to be.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a huge jump. I just had interviewed somebody that he went from NAI to D3 all the way to D1. Like that's a crazy journey. That's a hard transition. That's a big jump.
For
Um,
sure.
so it's like I'm proud of you for that because I don't know what that's like transitioning like that or making that big leap. So like that's something that's an accomplishment for sure. And
For sure.
how has, with your life to get on a person, how has it like with your mom being your dad and your mom, like how has that impacted your life with her being your mom and your dad?
It didn't really impact it at all because like it's at the end of the day, it's still my life. I'm not gonna let a parent that's not there not allow me to be myself, not allow me to go achieve something I want to achieve.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you kind of hit it on the point. Reason why I asked that question because I want to get a little personal because it's like, I feel like there's a stigma of African American fathers not being in their lives, and there's always an excuse. That's why the child acts like that. But look at you. You're about to be a college graduate soon, and you're
Same.
accomplishing. You're that 1%. So it's like that's not an excuse because also it's also on your mom, your auntie, your uncle. It's not just one person that determines the family. It's what you learn from them and you take it into consideration because you don't have to do what everybody say you got to do. You don't. It's an option. It's a choice. But what you did is you built something and now you're growing. On top of that, for people that is going to watch this, especially younger kids like that don't have a father in their lives, what would you say about that and to them?
I would say get in a relationship to the Lord. Whenever things get hard, keep going. You're not gonna want to do it all the time. And if you see something and you want to pursue it, go pursue it. Always take that risk. But when you take the risk, do it 110% so you don't have no regret behind it.
Yeah, for sure. You got to continue to life all risk. We wake up, we take a risk. Like
Yeah,
the moment you step out of bed, you get in the shower, you brush teeth, you take a risk by doing everything. It's just risk that isn't life or death, but they can. And
Hmm.
you start to look at things that are worldly idolized things in your life and you don't think nothing of it. And I feel like the biggest thing that we think of and that consumes us is temptation. And that's the biggest thing. And temptation is what the devil wants us to buy into it. And when we buy into that temptation, what we do is we get further away from God. And reason why I want to continue to act that and spread shine, I want to make sure our community also understands where we can utilize each other. And I want to make sure I keep posting your story and keep letting people hear your story because there's somebody that's going through what you went through. And now I could like recommend you, like, hey, this athlete I had on my podcast. Now you're a resource for them. Like what you asked earlier, you want people to come to you. Now you got it. See, God's always going to answer that prayer for you. Throughout your journey in your football career, what is one of your most proudest moments that you accomplished in your football career?
I would say like me readjusting coming from D three to D1 and being able to take in and be able to process the information that I learned last year quickly and I'm just growing as an athlete, as a person, and as a student. So I feel like the transition is just a different culture here. And I feel like I got a different type of mindset here.
Yeah, for sure. And what's things you're kind of looking forward this upcoming season that you want to be able to accomplish?
Um, Definitely get way better in the pass rush. At my first school, in my last school, I didn't learn the pass rush at all for real. So me being able, I want to learn that. Really just be able to learn more football IQ so I can use the IQ to use it to my advantage.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that's probably the best thing that you probably can do is utilize it and grow and be a sponge, when you want to learn everything because you also
Mhm.
want to become great. You want to be the best version of yourself. Throughout your journey with football, looking and reflecting back, do you have any regrets by anything?
Yes, I do. I didn't take football seriously until my senior year. I feel like if I would have taken it serious, like when I first started playing football as a kid, or even my sophomore year, I feel like I would be way better than I am now.
Sure. What would you tell your younger self?
I would say my younger self, I don't really have no regrets because like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed football, like midget league, flag football in my eighth grade year. Um, yeah, I don't really have no regrets.
Yeah, for sure. Are you in any community involvements back at your college at all?
No.
No. Do you want to be involved? You think
Oh yeah, for sure. I just like helping out the community. Like doing community service is really just peaceful to me.
that's awesome. So beyond football, like what's things that make you happy? Like what is other than football? Like what's your peace?
Honestly, just nature, reading the Bible, just being with my teammates, the right teammates, and just being able to learn, be able to read, just get and gain new information.
Sure, and I think that's the biggest thing is always the reason why I ask that because I want you to be able to, find that outlet, something other than, football being on your mind. Because sometimes it becomes us. We start to idolize football. We put that above God, and we start putting it above other things, and we start to make sacrifices. But again, like we was talking about earlier, you're going to have to be willing to make those little small sacrifices and adjustments to be able to. What impact do you want to be able to leave on your siblings or even within people on your team? Like what impact you want to be able to make on them?
With whatever card that they're dealt, they can always make nothing out of something if they put the effort and time into it.
Hmm. For sure, and I think making turning something into that out of nothing. I think that's probably the best thing you can do. You got a football. You got to be able to adapt. Fourth quarter, you're on the goal line, and you got 30 seconds, 2 minute warning drill. That's what you got to do, right? You
Yeah,
got to be able to adapt in those situations. I kind of always correlate how life things are, and I put it towards football. I mean, I'm biased because I play football, but like I always relate it to football because there's so much things that goes on in football that goes on in real life. Um, for what things you think that for this podcast, what things you think I can be able to do to help the community further that you would like us to do furthermore?
um, honestly, I feel like you're doing a pretty good job right now. I feel like I don't know. I actually don't know.
If you ever think of anything, you just let me know, and I'll do whatever because I'm trying to do my best. Reason why I ask that because like communities like yours, I want to be able to impact, but I also want to utilize you as a resource is what I want to. So how can I get you and to make an impact on those younger generations so you can go make a football camp one day or utilize your teammates. You guys have a fundraiser for the local community center or the food drive, or how can you go to your church and have a food drive or something like that? So that's what I mean when I always keep asking you the repetitive question is to make you think, how can you impact your community? Because all it takes is one conversation. That conversation can lead trickle down like a domino effect. What is a message do you want to leave to the younger generation?
Don't be a follower, be a leader, and keep God first.
For sure. What is a message you want to be able to leave for your family?
I love y'all. I'm gonna prove everybody wrong and prove myself right, and I got y'all in the future. They gonna know what it means.
That's awesome, man. I'm gonna definitely send that to you, clip it up for you, so you can be able to, show them first before I send it everything out for you. But
Okay.
as we're trickling down about the end of the interview, and I just want to say that I appreciate you for coming on and
No
sharing
problem.
your story and your journey. And if you ever need anything, you need anybody to talk to, utilize me as a resource. I'll send you my personal number as well. So you want to leave off with anything?
Uh, I would say that no motion is some motion is better than no motion. Some people know what that phrase means. Some people don't.
I like that. But thank you again for being on the podcast. Everybody, this
Sure.
is Jordan Thomas. This is Unmasked Athletes. Thank you, guys.